Hi all, and welcome to Tekkie's Transit. Route 12 is a 16.2 km long tram route in Melbourne, and runs from Victoria Gardens Shopping Centre to St Kilda. This route is quite an odd route as it runs through some of the quietest tram streets at its southern end, but also along one of the busiest streets in the CBD, and just has some really odd and interesting features. The route runs from Victoria Gardens Shopping Centre on Victoria Parade to the end of Park Street in St Kilda via Collins Street and runs through the suburbs of Richmond, Fitzroy, East Melbourne, South Melbourne, Albert Park, Middle Park and St Kilda, as well as the CBD. It is operated at a South Bank depot with A-class trams, which are Melbourne's lowest capacity trams. Route 12 was first used as a route number from 1929. Being allocated to the service from West Preston to St Kilda Beach. On August 7, 2000, Route 12 became a weekend-only service and was replaced by Route 112, which operated the service on weekdays. Route 12 ended up being scrapped 2 years later on the 18th of November 2002. However, in 2014, as part of a broader restructure of the Melbourne tram network, Route 112 was discontinued, with Route 11 being allocated to the service from Victoria Harbour to West Preston, and Route 12 being allocated to the service from Victoria Gardens to St Kilda. Route 12 begins at the Victoria Gardens Shopping Centre in Richmond. When Route 12 was re-established in 2014, a head shunt was built at Victoria Gardens to allow Route 12 trams to terminate in reverse direction without blocking the line for trams on Route 109, which continues east along Victoria Street towards Box Hill. Route 12 heads west down Victoria Street, following the same route as Route 109. Continuing approximately 800 metres west along Victoria Street, we arrive at Church Street and the terminus of Route 78. Route 78 is probably Melbourne's simplest tram route, running in a straight line down Church Street and Chapel Street from North Richmond to the end of Chapel Street in Balaclava, and is one of only 2 tram routes in Melbourne which don't travel through the CBD, the other being Route 82. There is a double track curve on the southeastern corner of the intersection that allows trams from Church Street to turn east down Victoria Street. This curve narrows to a single track going into Church Street and is mainly used to allow Route 78 trams to access Kew Depot. If you wish to learn more about Route 78, Beast for Life is making a video detailing the ins and outs of the route, which should be out soon if you're interested. Also make sure you subscribe to him as well. He does a lot of tram and bus spotting, and if you're interested in my content, chances are you'll probably be interested in his as well. Now let's get back to Route 12. Route 12 continues west down Victoria Street, passing through the heart of Melbourne's Vietnamese district before arriving at North Richmond Station, where passengers are able to change for trains on the Mernda and Hurstbridge lines. After passing under the railway line, we arrive at Hoddle Street, where Route 12 continues onto Victoria Parade, and at this point the road changes drastically. The road widens significantly and becomes a boulevard with 3 lanes each way, bus lanes, and also features a really wide median lined with elm trees, with the tram line running on reserved track in the middle of the road. This is one of the best examples of an attractive road centre tram reservation in Melbourne, and contrasts with other less attractive examples of road centre reservations in Melbourne, such as Queensway in St Kilda. Route 12 continues west down Victoria Parade to St Vincent's Plaza. St Vincent's Plaza is a large tram interchange located on Victoria Parade between Brunswick Street and Gisborne Street. The plaza is the terminus for Route 30, which continues west down Victoria Parade towards Latrobe Street, and is also the interchange point for Route 11, which continues north up Brunswick Street. The plaza has 3 side platforms, with Route 12 trams departing from the southernmost 2 platforms. It should also be mentioned that Route 109 also stops here and follows Route 12 down Gisborne Street. Route 12 turns south down Gisborne Street from St Vincent's Plaza, along with Routes 11 and 109. After passing St Patrick's Cathedral, Gisborne Street becomes MacArthur Street, turning south-southwest. Route 12 continues down MacArthur Street before crossing Spring Street, continuing into Collins Street and entering the CBD. The intersection of Spring Street and Collins Street is a major junction, with Route 48 turning west from Spring Street to Collins Street here, whilst the City Circle continues straight here along Spring Street. The junction itself is a very custom piece of track work, due to the angle at which MacArthur Street comes in. The junction was originally a simple crossroad with no curves, but in 2009 the junction was modified to allow Route 48 trams to be rerouted from Flinders Street to Collins Street. The next part of Route 12 is by far the busiest, heading west down Collins Street. Collins Street is by far the busiest east-west CBD street, with a total of 4 tram routes running down the street, including Route 12. This makes this section of Route 12 extremely busy, and the tiny A-class trams on Route 12 get absolutely packed on Collins Street. Route 12 continues west down Collins Street as far as Spencer Street, where passengers are able to change for Route 11 and 48 trams, which continue west towards Docklands, and Route 96 trams, which continue north towards Burke Street. Passengers are also able to change here for trains and buses departing from Southern Cross Station, which is the largest train station in Victoria and serves a large number of train routes, including interstate standard gauge passenger trains to New South Wales and South Australia, V-Line regional train services, and most suburban services. At Spencer Street, Route 12, along with Route 109, turns south down Spencer Street. After crossing Flinders Street, Route 12 then leaves the CBD, crossing the Yarra River before continuing south onto Clarendon Street, where Route 12 enters South Bank and arrives at the Casino and Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. This is the interchange point for routes 109 and 96, which turns south at Normanby Road onto the Port Melbourne St Kilda Light Rail, whilst Route 12 continues south down Clarendon Street. Trams can also turn right onto the light rail to access South Bank Tram Depot, which is accessed from the Port Melbourne Light Rail, and is located approximately 400 metres away from the junction at Clarendon Street. After passing under the Westgate Freeway, Route 12 enters South Melbourne. This part of the route is quite lively, passing through the rather busy South Melbourne market, and is home to lots of shops and restaurants. This area is also one of the few places outside of the Melbourne CBD where vehicles are required to do a hook turn, as vehicles are generally only required to do such a manoeuvre in the CBD. Continuing south through the Clarendon Street shopping strip, Route 12 crosses Route 1 at Park Street, South Melbourne. The junction at the intersection of Clarendon Street and Park Street features a track curve on the southeastern corner of the intersection, which allows Route 12 trams to divert in case of disruptions, but is used very rarely. Route 12 continues south for approximately 460 metres to Albert Park, where it turns west onto Albert Road. This section of the route runs in a dedicated reservation on the southern side of Albert Road, which is really unique. Albert Park is a large park featuring a large lake in the middle and springs to life when the annual Melbourne Formula 1 Grand Prix is held in March, which sees Lakeside Drive, Albert Road Drive and Orkview Drive converted into a racing circuit. To cater for an increased number of trams during the event, there is a short loop track at the Clarendon Street Albert Road tram stop, which allows extra trams to terminate there. It is also commonly used by defective trams, which shunt onto the loop whilst they wait to be towed back to their home depot to be repaired. Route 12 continues west down Albert Road for 500 metres before passing under the St Kilda Light Rail and turning south onto Canterbury Road. Despite the fact that Route 96 passes over Route 12 on the St Kilda Light Rail, there is no connection between Route 12 and Route 96 at Albert Road. This is because the St Kilda Light Rail was originally a railway line and was converted into a tramway in 1987. Seems that when the railway line was converted to light rail, planners never considered adding a stop at Albert Road to allow for passengers to change for Route 12. However, this isn't a big deal as one might think, as you can change from Route 12 to Route 96 at the St Kilda terminus anyway. Route 12 continues down Canterbury Road for approximately 200 metres before turning southwest down Mills Street. This final section of the line through Middle Park to St Kilda is the quietest section of the route, and rather uniquely runs through the back streets of Middle Park. Route 12 continues southwest down Mill Street for approximately 700 metres before turning southeast onto Dank Street. A short siding continues southwest down Mill Street from here to Beaconsfield Ilmsfield Parade, which is used for terminating trams but isn't used very often. The final section of Route 12 heads southeast through Middle Park on Dank Street. At McGregor Street, Dank Street becomes Patterson Street, and then at Fraser Street, Patterson Street becomes Park Street. Route 12 continues southeast down Park Street for approximately 350 metres before turning south-southeast. It then continues down Park Street for another 480 metres before arriving at the terminus at Fitzroy Street. The terminus is quite scenic and is located on a tree-lined spot at the end of Park Street. It is also quite easy to miss. It has one platform and the double track line on Park Street narrows to a single track on the approach to the terminus. There is a single track curve which leads from the terminus into Fitzroy Street and is only used occasionally. It is only possible to access the city-bound line on Fitzroy Street from here, and it is not possible to access the Route 12 terminus from the outbound line on Fitzroy Street. So as you can tell, Route 12 is quite an interesting route. It runs through one of the busiest streets in the CBD and also down some of the quietest streets on the network. But could it be better? Currently, from a service point of view, Spencer Street is split into two halves at Burke Street. The section from Burke Street to Latrobe Street is served by Route 86, whilst the section from Burke Street to the Yarra River is served by Route 96, as well as routes 12 and 109 from Collins Street. What this means is that it is impossible to catch a tram on Spencer Street that will take you from Latrobe Street to Flinders Street. To do that, you would have to change trams at Burke Street. However, Melbourne on Transit have outlined a simple fix for this problem. They've proposed that Route 12 be realigned to instead run through the CBD on Latrobe Street. This would fix the Spencer Street problem by creating a continuous service up Spencer Street. It would also reduce tram congestion on Collins Street. Realigning Route 12 would also provide a more legitimate service along Latrobe Street. Currently, Latrobe Street only carries Route 30 and the City Circle. Route 30 is Melbourne's shortest tram route and runs from St Vincent's Plaza to Central Pier. It purely exists to provide a service down Latrobe Street, which otherwise only carries the City Circle. However, Route 30 doesn't go anywhere outside the CBD apart from St Vincent's Plaza. So realigning Route 12 to serve Latrobe Street will allow for passengers to not only be able to catch a single tram up and down Spencer Street, but will also allow passengers to be able to catch a single tram out to the suburbs from Latrobe Street. If anyone watching from Yarra Trams wishes to inquire more about this idea, please feel free to contact me. So that is Route 12. It's a pretty quiet route, but still plays an important role in keeping the people of Melbourne moving. Thanks for watching.